All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, and good morning, and happy Tuesday. Man, my background is blue, is purple. I got to change that. It's a little too purple. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. We'll be starting in just a minute. I am actually got up early today. My daughter woke me up a few minutes early. Good morning, Brian. Hope you are well, and hopefully you're getting a little rest after the last couple of weeks. Vertuvian, Lydia, Chris, Vernon, James, Robert, Ivano, Art, Bill, Kirk, Wade, Pete, Ray, Arnulfo, Pieti Brock from Netherlands, Eduardo, John, Carrie, Sassy Trainer, Beamclay, Debbie, Diana, Timothy, Wayne, Rice, Flying Ronan. Good morning, Flying Ronan. Glenn, Clay, James, Scuba Chris, Charles Clyde, Stan, Harold, Don, William, another day. Glad to be. Yeah, me too, William. Nathan, good morning. Thank you for the email exchange last night. I appreciate that. Very nice of you. Very, very nice of you. Had to have a good discussions with you last night. That was good. That was fantastic, actually. All right. All right. We'll be starting in just a minute. Just want to give the room a few minutes to fill up. I posted a link a few minutes early today. We got Harold, Don, we got Stephen, Walter, Ruth, Henry, Illinois grain farmer, Karen. Good morning, Karen. I hope you're doing well. Samson, Devin, CJ, Tim, Scotty, Dr. Serena. Good morning, my actuary. I hope you're doing well. I hope you guys are doing well. We got Jody, we got Dave. Let me post some links your way. Some Here's a VIP room link for today. I will be discussing quite a lot of goodies. Hey, Patricia. And let me give you post it. One second. One second. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Harry. Good morning, Ed. Good morning. Good morning. And good morning, Gustavo. There you are. Let me just post link for Cam here. I mean, for you guys. Cam is back. Always good to have Cam back. And then we'll get started. We'll be starting right now. Just want to get my link. Where's my link? Cam, do me a favor, repost me a new link, would you? It's been a few days. There it is. I found it. There we go. Hey Ralph. Hey Brian. Hey Howard. Good morning. Moondog is in the house. Thomas is in the house. Reynold, Mitch, Gustavo. Good morning, Ed. Good morning. Let me just put in good morning, everyone. All right. So as you guys can see, the Dow's up 1,000 points, which is substantial. The Nasdaq is up 400 points, and the S&P's up 126 points. That's some real meaningful move. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, Steve. The question is, are these moves sustainable? Are they meaningful? Are we getting out of the bottom, or is this a dead cat bounce? A lot of questions. A lot of people have questions, and I have answers for you. I do. I want to start off with something I usually don't start off with. I want to show you, first of all, how many stocks are on my long watch list before we begin everything, okay? Usually I end here, but I want to begin here because I want to show you how bad situation looks right now. This is my watch list. Look at my 52-week high list. This is it. Not going to trade this, definitely not going to trade that. Now look at my 20-week high list. Same two stocks. Now look at my 50-day high list. Same two stocks. Now look at my A-line long list. No. Look at my A-line short list. No. How about a 90-day high list, my biggest list, same two stocks. I went through four scanners with you. I just went through four scanners with you. Do you see how many stocks are on the long side of my list? None. This is the long side of my watch list today. This is the short side of my watch list today. I want to show you this. Do you see how many stocks are on my long watch list side or on this side of the fence? Do you see how many stocks are written down? Do you see one name there? Do you see the short list? I got more stocks than I know what to do with. Look at my long list. Not one stock. Not one stock. So, hey Cam. So, do you guys understand? This is all of my scanners. These usually have 30, 40, 50 stocks to look at. These are my scanners. How about 90/10s? Let's see how many stocks are retracing back. Not 50 or 90 or 100. Seven. Seven. And look at how they all look like shit. Excuse my French. Or maybe not. So, what is good morning? Good morning, Angie. So, good morning, Richard. Good morning. My point is, do you guys see what I want you guys to understand. Do you guys see what our opportunities are to the upside as of right now? Carlos says market shows signs of a rebound. The underlying factors contributing to recent declines, such as tariff disputes and recession fear, remains some unresolved. I would say completely unresolved. Do you guys see any stocks on my watch list? So this is the scanners that I use to generate a list of stocks for you. I want you to see this with your own eyes. There's two. These two. 20-week high. These two. 50-week high. The same two stocks. A-line, 2 and 3, 90-day high, the same two stocks. Do you see how many? Do you guys see? There's slim is a very kind word. Slim is a very kind word, Naples fan. So this is how I pick stocks to the upside. This is how I find stocks. Why is it do I have no stocks on my long list and I have probably 30 stocks on my short list? Why? Can you guys answer this question for me? Can anybody answer this question for me? All right. Because we don't have anything. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Are we going to make stuff up if there's nothing there? Are we going to create some stocks that are not there? No. Naples fan, that has nothing to do with anything, but that is on my list. The fact that they're earnings. So, do you guys understand the situation that we're in right now? Are you guys going to ask me how come I don't have any long stocks for you today? Is anybody going to ask me that in the morning? Is anybody going to ask me, Roger, how come you don't have any long stocks for us before I get into the analysis? I just want to make sure. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Does anybody not understand why I do not have any long stocks on my watch list? It's a yes or no question. Okay, Doris, no. Hope not. Be cautious, no. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Okay. Volume has nothing to do with it, Henry. I've never used the word volume in anything I've said in the last 3 days. Let's stick to things I've been talking about. How about that? Arnolfo says, "Why no long stocks?" Arnolfo, are you being sarcastic or are you being serious? The Williams answer seems to be the most logical one based on what I just showed you. Very obvious. Arnolfo, are you joking with me or are you serious? I just want to make sure. I want to make sure everybody understands this part. Okay, Bob gets it. Ivano gets it. Dan gets it. Arnolfo, do you understand or okay, good, good, good. I just wanted to make sure you were sarcastic. I just wanted to make sure. Went the wrong way. Give me a second. Oh, completely went the wrong way. uh, yes, I just wanted to make sure. All right. No, no, that's okay. It's not you. Just wanted to make sure. Right. All right. Just wanted to make sure. And then anybody's getting here late. The reason for that is these are the stocks that I look 52-week high. How many stocks are making a 1 year high? These two. Do these two look like we would trade them? No. How many stocks are making 20-week highs? The same two. How many stocks are making 50-week highs? The same two. How many stocks are making 90-week day highs? The same two. If you're going to ask me why I don't have any long stocks on my watch list, you're clearly not paying attention to what I'm saying. So I want to make sure we nobody asks stupid questions. Roger, how come you're not getting any stocks on your watch list to the long side? Now, let me show you how many stocks we have on our short list. 817. Do you think we have enough to choose from? So, here's my two sides. I do every day I do two sides. Do you see how many stocks I have on one side and how many I have on the other side? I want to show you this before we begin so you have some context. Okay? All right. Now the market's up and what I'm showing you may change, although I'm not holding my breath and I'll show you why in a minute. As far as Fed data is concerned, we don't have, good morning, Julio. As far as Fed data is concerned, we don't have anything on the table except Mary Daly speaking. Tomorrow we have FOMC minutes. Are the FOMC minutes going to impact the market 1%? The market is being driven by global economy. A beautiful example of that was illustrated yesterday. Yesterday at about 10 a.m. or so, there was a false rumor that Hassett, my ex-partner, told everybody we're going to do a 90-day reprieve. The stock market started bolting higher faster than you could say, who's your daddy? Right now, 99.9% of all movement in all of your favorite stocks is being determined by tariffs. If anybody does not understand that, then please review the stocks that are on my long list, and you will understand that very clearly if I haven't been clear enough for the last 10 minutes. If we hit bottom, then most of the stocks that have hit 90-day lows will start coming up. Yeah, but they have to. Yes, they will. Of course, Boyd. Of course. But that has to happen first. That has to happen first. My point is this, folks. When you have 1,172 stocks, or let's just take out the ETFs. When you have 817 stocks making a 90-day breakdown, and you have two stocks making a 90-day high, that's a big, big problem. That's a big, 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 big problem. I don't know what the rumor is, Angie. You got to tell me what the rumor is. No, the rumor wasn't true. Oh, about Hassett? No, 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 no. It wasn't true. It was just fake news. It was just total fake news. Hassett's not going to come up with something like that himself. But my point is, did you see what happened to the market? It started bolting higher faster than you could say, you know what? That is what's driving the market. Nothing else is driving the market right now. Not Fed data, not what Powell, well, maybe what Powell will say to a degree, depending on what he says. But pretty much that's it. There's nothing else driving price right now. Okay? Yes, bottom picking is a fool's errand, especially when you have 817 stocks going down and two stocks going up. And I don't even know these. U.S. Steel and here it's JNVR. I've never heard of this stock. And then U.S. Steel, which had a parabolic move. When we don't trade parabolic moves. Too much risk versus reward. Bollinger Bandwidth, we talked about that. So the situation is very, very bad right now. Very, very, very bad right now. And I don't want you guys to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. All right. Crude oil. Crude oil is consolidating around here. That's great, but I'm not seeing any signs of a fast reprieve. Now, a few things I want to tell you. Right now, with this drop, the market will do one of two things. It'll consolidate and continue going lower, or it'll bounce back pretty fast. If the market doesn't bounce back by the end of this Friday, When I say bounce back, I mean back to the 8-day EMA. We're in deep, deep doo doo because the market's going to start appraising the current value as a new value, something that who is it here? Something that we don't want to see. We don't want to see that. Wouldn't smart money have confirmed the rumor before aggressively? No, no, they wouldn't have confirmed anything. And they were buying faster than you could say, who's your daddy rich? They're exactly like, they're not that different than you and I. They have exactly the same squawk box you and I do. Yeah, the Saudis, Boyd, Saudis is not what's Saudi Arabia is. I'm trying to explain to you, Boyd, you're not listening. None of those news is impacting global markets right now. It's not Saudi Arabia increasing oil production. It's this tariff. It's fear of a global slowdown. Not Saudi Arabia can increase production. They can decrease production. But if you have a global recession, it doesn't really matter. That's what this is trying to price in right now. Please listen. Stop trying to tell me what you think. Ask yourself, how often am I wrong and why? How often am I wrong, guys? Not that often. Please listen to me. I'm not doing this for my own self education or my ego boost. I could be spending an hour playing with Clyde right now. This is if we don't see a bounce in the next 3 or 4 days, then this level price is going to start getting used to these levels. The more price gets used to these levels, the harder it is for the market to snap back up. I'm going to repeat this again, and this applies to every asset we're going to talk about today. If price stays volatile like it was yesterday, but it doesn't start moving up directionally really fast, and this does not confirm a bottom, which I don't think it will do, we're going to see lower volatility here, but price will begin until value will begin building here. Remember what I told you, stock market has to develop value at a new area. That problem is the stock market doesn't know where it wants to develop value at right now. It's searching for that area. It's searching for that area. Hey, Eagle Beagle, good morning to you. Good morning, Edward. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So energy markets are not helping us right now. And energy, and by the way, here's the problem. And this is what I was trying to tell you yesterday. You look at the Dow, you see the Dow up 1,100 points, you get excited. But when you look at the market, you see that volatility has been so high that 1,000 points doesn't even get us above this area, which I will talk about today. I will talk extensively today about all of this. Okay. Let me just give me a chance. So crude oil is not telling us that we are out of this mess, not by a long shot. Bond market, long bond is breaking down fast and hard. We were down 3 basis points yesterday. That's an ouch. That's an ouch. And this is this morning. That means interest rates are going higher, not lower. Interest rates, the yield is going higher, not lower. That's the worst thing that can happen to us right now. The worst thing that can happen to us right now. Another thing is, look at this trend line that I drew for you. We are now on this side of the trend line, not on this side of the trend line. Remember, deflationary, inflationary. So interest rates, yield coming down is not really helpful to us. All right? That's right, Carlos. That's right. This is not helping us at all. And if that rumor I hear that Trump wants to dump the market, so interest rates go down, no, that's ridiculous. But anyhow, the bond market is not helping that scenario either. Yields are going higher, not lower. Okay, yields are going higher, not lower. 3 basis points yesterday. That is not a random move. That is somebody liquidating bonds, just like there's no tomorrow. Isn't that risk on reaction? Yes, it is risk on reaction, but it's still trying to find. The markets are still trying to develop value, and they can't find value. This is flight to cash, absolutely, absolutely. And what about gold? Ouch, ouch. That's a sell-off. That's investors shifting to cash, folks. That, my friends, is recessionary. This is recessionary. US dollar is now back in this area. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. The problem is we need to see global economy cooperate as well. Oh, it was very very much overvalued, but now it went from being really overvalued to being overvalued to being unknown value. And I don't like what's happening with the gold market. China is getting no bounce. Folks, remember, part of the reason we're down is because of this crash from China. Is China recovering a lot? If you want to call this a recovery, God bless. This is no recovery. This is a dead cat bounce, definition of a dead cat bounce. What about cryptos? Let's look at cryptos. Cryptos look like they're starting to get back above the 200-day moving average. But, you know, to me, until we're above the 8-day EMA on every asset, we have not bounced back. Okay? We have not bounced back. Will tariffs make it difficult to determine earnings? Tariffs will make it not impossible to determine earnings. Tariffs will make it impossible to determine forward-looking statements. Good question. This is bad for his administration. Very bad for his administration. All right. So crude oil is not helping us at all. The bond market sure as hell is not helping us. US dollar is neutral, kind of looks like we're back in the zone. Doesn't look too bad here. Looks like it could have potentially bottomed. I hope that's the case. Gold looks like it bottomed at the 50-day, but we won't know till we're back above these two levels. Please don't buy gold till we're above 3,100. Please don't buy gold till we're above these levels. Do not. Because if gold continues breaking down, it's going to be evidence that people are putting their money in cash. And China is not helping us at all. Okay? Let's talk, let's break down the fundamentals, okay? Yes, I call them fundamentals. Oh yeah, VIP room. Gonna have a big option session today. I don't know about third terms. That's against the Constitution. And remember something, folks. It's a two-way street. If Trump has a third administration, other presidents can run for a third administration, like Obama and others. Just saying, you know. I'm just throwing it out there. It's not a one-way street. I don't think we want that. I don't think it's good. I think that's just nonsense. It's just a pipe dream. Futures are up 1.5%. Nasdaq is up 1.25%. Let's see if that's still. Yeah, we're still up a little bit. Let's see. Uh, Pointing to a modest recovery, if you want to call it a recovery, as investors seek dip buying opportunities, more like short covering, while waiting for clarity on how U.S. President Trump's trade policies will play out. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this. Now, if you play the whole political card with me because I say something you don't want to hear, I'm just going to kick you out of here. So don't do that, okay? I'm reading my financial news right now. He provided scant details about what he wants in return for reducing tariffs or whether he intends to offer any relief at all. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, well, what? What are you talking about, Roger? Well, let me just say something here, okay? Um, so other countries are confused right now. World leaders want to strike a bargain with Trump to ease the tariffs against him, but they don't know what he wants. And he hasn't explained the clear purpose for his tariffs. He hasn't explained the clear, which makes me wonder if he even knows what the hell he wants. At times, he has outlined a goal that contradicts each other. You see, folks? Trump has suggested that the tariffs are reciprocal and part of a negotiation tactic, which would make them temporarily as long as other countries work with him. But he also said that tariffs are meant to raise tax revenue and to bring back U.S. manufacturing, which would suggest they are actually permanent. Now, we all know that tariffs can't raise money or entice manufacturing back to America if they end. So is he trying to, is he doing this or is he doing this? Because they're completely two different things. See? Do you guys understand what I just said? Anybody going to argue with me over this? Anybody want to debate with me over this? So we need some clarity. We need some clarity. Is he doing this? Is he doing this to bring countries to the table to work with him? Or is he doing this to improve America? If he's doing this to bring countries to work with him, then why is he talking about making America great again via all the money tariffs are going to bring, because if he's doing it to bring countries to work with him, then they're not permanent. If he's doing this to make America great again via manufacturing, then they're permanent. Do you see my point? TJW, please stop saying nonsense. He has come back trillions of dollars. No, no, he hasn't. No, no, he hasn't. No, no. So far, he's got 80 billion. He refused zero tariffs on U.S. goods. And what about Netanyahu yesterday? He said we want to work with you. Did he get anything in return? No. Am I saying anything crazy here? Oh, he's flexible. Okay, well, okay. Well, would you please tell me which way are we going? Because I don't know. So because he's contradicting each other. He's saying it's part of a negotiation tactic, but then he says it's meant to raise tax revenue and bring back U.S. Do you see my point here? So as I said, he provides scant details. So how is market? So can you answer a question for me, folks? Please, I want you guys to help me answer this question. How do we have clarity when I'm asking the most fundamental question right now and I can't get an answer on it? Israel said they would go to zero. I don't remember what he said in response to Israel. Israel said they would go to zero. What did he say in response to Israel? Exactly. Exactly, Khalid. Exactly. Thank you. Do you see the problem? And again, I don't have an answer for you. Maybe you have an answer for me. Maybe I'm going to have to call up Hassett and say, hey, are you doing this to bring world leaders to the table, or are you doing this to improve economy? Because if you're doing this, then you're bullshitting here. Or if you're doing this, you're bullshitting here. Are you bullshitting Trump? All right, let's move on. You don't get clarity until it's all resolved. Well, that's the problem for the market. The market's not going to get any clarity either. Okay, let's continue. So if I can't get clarity, and if I think about trading like institutional traders and I can't get any clarity, how are institutional traders going to get clarity? See, Bill says, can we talk about we are talking about the markets, you see? Bill, just because I'm saying something you don't want to hear that happens to be the headline on my report, no. You see, folks, I've had enough of that. Anytime you guys hear something you don't want to hear, you turn the political card on me. Or I'm not arguing with you. I'm simply saying we're going to go here or we're going to go here, and I have no way we're going to go. And you see, Bill, unfortunately, our entire discussion resolves around which direction we're going to go to. Do you understand that, Bill? I'm not arguing. I'm trying to have a conversation with you guys. All right. I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. I just have questions. Wall Street main indexes ended mixed. Magnificent Seven continued to fall. Apple dropped 3%. Tesla slumped 2%. Energy stocks tumbled. Did you guys know that that was the issue we're having before I brought it up this morning? That we need to figure out if we're going to go here or here. Until we do, we're not going to get clarity. Yeah, the clarity. It's cloudy, and we don't know. See, Bill, the problem is this clarity. This clarity, which we don't have, is going to it's going to determine where we are going to go. So we have to debate it as much as possible. We get to the bottom of things, or we're not going to go where things are going to. We're not going to know where things are going to go. Chip stocks lost ground. Broadcom, AMG didn't do well. Chip stocks are not holding up. All right. All right. Just trade what's in front of you, candle at a time. Don't look at my crystal ball. There you go. Yeah, but we need to get through this. We need to know what's going on here. Economic data released on Monday showed U.S. consumer credit unexpectedly fell. Eight, not good at all. By the way, notice no move in the market from this. Thank you, Bill. Hey, I'm just trying to answer the question. Don't you think it's a good question? Is Trump doing this to bring world leaders, or is Trump doing this to make America great again? I don't know. Until we know, we're not going to go back up, because value investors are not going to buy, because they need to know if we're going to go here or here. It's a big, big question. It's a big, 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 big question. This is what's driving the market right now. That's why we're talking about it so much. It's the first two paragraphs of my thing. Mm. Now, this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part right here. This is where I get my popcorn. Kugler stated on Monday that President Trump's trade policy currently has more implications for inflation than economic growth. I agree with that. Kugler said that consumers' actions to buy goods before recently announced tariffs takes effect, maybe bolstering economic activity in early 2025, while they are indicating that the trade policy changes are beginning to exert upward pressure on price. Oh yeah. The takeaway is that I view right now inflation as being more pressing as far as effects of tariffs than we've already seen. I agree with that. I have to be very careful in how we navigate this period. Yeah, but you know what? You knew this was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. But you know what you did? You lowered rates twice right in the face of all of this. And I will never let you forget that, Kugler. Goolsbee said during an interview, anxiety is if these tariffs are as big as what is threatened. See, they don't know either. And if there's a massive retaliation, then if there's counter retaliation, it might send us back to the kind of conditions we saw in 2021, 2022, when inflation is raging out of control. That's a big, I wasn't sure how to read the consumer credit. Are people paying off debt, not taking more debt? Yes, that is why, Jeff. That is exactly why. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Jeff. Yes. Well, this is important. We have to get to the bottom of this. We need to know if he's going if he's going to take the 101 freeway or if he's going to take the 405 freeway, right? All right. Investors also continue to assess the potential impact of Trump's tariffs and remain alert for an announcement of retaliatory measures. China retaliated against new Trump, imposing 34% on U.S. imports beginning April 10th. Trump on Monday threatened additional tariffs. This is not going to end well, folks. If Beijing fails to retract its retaliatory tariffs by April 8th. You know, not good. Yeah. Everything is on, all the bad stuff is on the rise. All right. Europe is giving us a little tailwind, snapping a 4-day losing streak, starting to get a little price discovery. Investor sentiment remains fragile and ongoing tariff related concerns. Now, do you think a five-star hedge fund is going to buy in these conditions long term? No, no. The reason we're talking about this, guys, somebody says, well, you should just trade price action. I've got news for you. I'm not deciding what I'm going to do. I'm trying to figure out what institutions are going to do so I could gauge price discovery accurately. This isn't about what we're going to do. We haven't gotten there yet. This is about gauging what institutions are going to do so that we have a true measure of our barometer. We haven't got to the question of what we are going to do. So what you are saying right now, crazy about pets, is completely inaccurate. We haven't discovered if we're going to be in an 80-degree temperature. We haven't decided if we're going to be in a 90-degree temperature. We haven't decided if we're going to be in a 50-degree temperature. How do I know how to pack for my vacation? How do I know how to pack for my vacation, crazy about pets? Don't tell people nonsense right now. We haven't got to the trade the charts yet. We will get to that in a bit. Don't give people wrong information. We have to figure out if we're going to a summertime weather. We have to figure out if there's going to be traffic. We have to figure out if we have to bring our umbrella hat. We have to figure out if we have to bring our jacket. That's what we're figuring out right now. After we figure this part out, then we're going to move to the section of just trade the chart. Don't try to oversimplify the game. It doesn't work that way. If it was that simple, everybody would be doing it, just pets. So please stop tell people what to do, okay? All right. Are there going to be buyer transformers for the power grid? Who are we going to buy exactly? Good question, William. Good question. All right. So please, let's just stick to my movie, okay? Europe is up, snapped the 4-day losing streak. Not very good for sentiment. Not very good for sentiment. European Commission president confirmed that European Union has proposed zero for zero tariffs. Trump rejected it. All right. China ended higher today, partially recovering from Wednesday's sell-off as sentiment improved following the government's robust response to U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs. Consumer-related stocks led the gains on Tuesday. China pledged on Tuesday not to bow to blackmail from the U.S. after President Trump, I'm just reading this, announced he would impose additional 50% tariffs. Japan closed higher today following a call between Prime Minister Shiba and Trump, who ignites hopes for a tariff deal. The benchmark recovered most of its previous day's losses, could secure a trade agreement where U.S. to avoid 24% tariffs. Ay vey. Ay, ay, ay. All right, stocks that are moving today. AVGO is moving. Levi's is moving. Healthcare stocks are moving, which is really good. These were the strongest stocks last few days. Ross Store is moving. And Schwab. Remember, I like the financial stocks quite a bit. Now we're going to answer the question of just trade the charts. Now that we have our sentiment, what is our sentiment telling us? We still have a huge amount of unknown. The primary driver has not changed. The temperature, he's feeling much better. He's doing great. Thank you for asking, Cam. He can't, that we still have absolutely zero clarity about global economy, and that volatility is still being driven by the same thing. So are things getting really better? Is sentiment getting any better in the world? No, not at all. Now that we know that, Mr. Mr. Who are you? What was it? Crazy about pets. Now we can get to the technical charts and trading the charts. So we first have to see what climate we are in. We have to see if the roads are going to be trafficy. We need to see if there's going to be a lot of congestion. We have to see if people are going to be trading or driving on the streets or taking the freeway. Don't you understand? It's a delicate situation. All right. So let's talk about the SPY. Have we, by the way, remember somebody here by the name of Roger Scott drew the levels for you yesterday? And that happened to be the low, wasn't it? Do you see that? If you were here yesterday, then you probably would have spotted that, but that was the low. I drew this for you yesterday. All right, we're now bouncing up. Are we in, how far are we now in the safe zone? Now we're answering your question, trading the charts. But before that, we have to figure out the sentiment, the climate. When you go on a trip, don't you check what the weather's going to be? When you're going to the airport, do you check what the traffic is going to be? Do you really care why the traffic is what it is? But you need to know if it's going to be there. Do you need to know if there's going to be a long line in the airplane before you check in? Or are you one of those schmucks that doesn't check any of that and just flies by night and ends up having to take a layover half the time? I'm not. I check everything before I take my trip. That way, I prepare for all the surprises that are ahead, like I am doing right now with the market. I check everything and I do my due diligence. And this is why I spend an hour with you instead of 3 minutes, because I'm trying to get you guys to think the same way I do. And believe it or not, it's working pretty damn well. All right. So are we at key levels on the SPY? Are we at, if anything, if I'm able to get 5 people here out of 608 to be a little more careful today and be a little mindful and to see one thing that they didn't see yesterday, then I'm doing my job. So we need to get above, you are going to write this level down. We need to get above 526.50 today. 526.50. What happens? There you go, Alan. You like that, huh? That what a bear signal we got yesterday off of it, right? Let's continue here. Let's continue. I don't want to get off base. Let me just put this here. All right. So does it look to you like we're going to reach this level and hit the 8-day EMA, which is at 532? I don't think so. But we got a big gap here. Folks, gaps are places of support and resistance. We have a huge trend line right here. We got to get past this level. Nothing good will happen. Nothing good Nothing good will happen until we get above this level and defend this level, which means we have to go up, test it, and continue going higher anymore. And then then if we're lucky, we get to the next level here. So we have three levels to go before we get to some safety. We got to get above this gap. We got to get above the 8-day EMA. We got to get back into this channel. And then we still have the 200-day moving average above us. Also, I hate to say this, but you have a new channel here now. This is a major resistance area for the market. Major resistance area for the market. So if we go in here, that's a major resistance area for the market, and you've got a moving average, and you have a VWAP here. You've got a lot of shit here we have to overcome, excuse my French, to get back up. And even if we do, we're only testing our previous point of control, which means absolutely nothing, which means we can go up here, we can go up here, we can come all the way up here, and we can bounce off right here. Let me show you a picture. See, we don't do this before we find out what the climate is going to be. We do this after we dissect our climate. Let me show you. See that? Come all the way up here, all the way up here, and then bounce right back down, just like we did right here. So we have to get above this entire area back into here and cross the 200-day moving average. I'll do that in a minute, Daniel. All right, I'll do that in a minute. So we got to do them one at a time. QQQ, what about QQQ? We got to get to this level right here. We got to get this gap right here has to get filled right here. That gap has to get filled. We got to break. Then we got to fill this level right here. Then we go back into here, and then we pray to God that we can go above the 200-day moving average. And we want to pray to God that this becomes a V and not a consolidation. Okay. So what I need to see in the next couple of days is very sharp buying, telling these levels, telling the 458 level on the QQQ, take a hike, and price coming right back into this channel right here. Do I believe that's going to happen as of right now in light of what I just read for 37 minutes? No. If I did not read that, pets, whoever you are, maybe I would think that. But because I read that and I realized we have absolutely no further clarity than we had yesterday, I am of the opinion that this is going to be a major, major sticking point. Me either, Scuba Chris. Me either. But, yes, exactly, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Now we're talking. So please, don't play the just look at the price. Just look at the price. No, don't just look at the price. Look at everything. Why do you want to avoid consuming intelligent data, intelligence? Why do you want to, if you're a spy, don't you want to have all the intelligence possible before you make your decision? This is information that the market's giving you for free. Consume it and use it. Okay. So we got to get past this area. Nothing good will happen. As Jeff pointed out, we tend to hold on to look at how well we respect the 8-day EMA this whole route. Thank you, Jeff. Do you see that? That's a big problem. Look how well it respects this the moving average and the VWAP right here. So this is too big of a dip for us to just go straight up, I think. I think it'll be very hard. I think we will need to have some fundamental news from Trump changing or giving us clarity, one or two scenarios for us to go higher. And remember, there's a huge chance we can bounce back down from here or from here because look at all the resistance here. So I do not like what I am seeing right now. Do we need AVOP on Trump's tariff now? Not yet. I'll put it in there later. Not yet. Not yet. We have one right here from a few days earlier. We're good. I'll add all that. Don't worry. We'll get there. Mags. Let's look at Mags. Do you guys understand? We gone down too far to just bounce back from here. Counter surveillance. Thank you, Mike. That's it. That's what I was. Thank you for helping me. Thank you. Same thing here. Look. I'll go through, I have plenty of time. I'll go through the QQQ as well. We got to get back up here. We have a huge area here. We have to, for folks who've been doing this for some time, am I making very clear sense here, or am I saying anything that's out of whack? Because Moko, the reason there's no move into gold is the same reason, Moko, the reason there's no move into gold is the same reason there's no move into energies, because we have a fear of a recession, not inflation. Money goes into gold and crude when we have fear of inflation, not when we have a recession. When you have a recession, economy gets weaker. There's no reason for people to put money anywhere. Okay, because everything gets weakened. A recession and inflation do two different things to commodity markets. Just remember COVID. Gold didn't spike either. Okay, so we are now in a fear of a global recession. And by the way, folks, I'm going to tell this again. The biggest indicator for U.S. stock market is volatility, right? Right. The biggest market for global markets is energy market. This is like the global VIX market, capiche? So, you look at the VIX for volatility on S&P, you look at crude oil for lack of interest in global economy. The first asset to dump when there's no need for when we're moving into a recession is the energy market. Understand that, okay? All right, let's continue. So mega caps, you guys understand we got to get this area needs to be filled right here. And then even if this area is filled, as Jeff I believe pointed out, it only takes us to this area right here. So we have a lot to climb, folks. We have a lot to climb. And I'm going to tell you something. And this is the part where we connect the first part to the second part. This type of technical price action will not be corrected without a fundamental shift. What does that mean, Roger? Why don't we just trade price action? Because I recognize the level of fear and the level of uncertainty cannot undo this and make this go right back here in 1 or 2 days just by technical price action. Technical price action, folks, will take this up here, maybe up here. It's not going to take us back up here. You understand? This is why I spent 37 minutes talking about fundamentals, because the fundamentals give me a bigger picture of what I'm expecting from technicals, and whether what I expect from technicals is going to come to fruition. What I'm trying to teach you guys is a three-dimensional approach to the market, something that most folks will not teach you because they don't understand it themselves. And if you don't like that, if you think just looking at charts is better, please help yourself. See how much more information we will have in our disposal versus the guy who just looks at charts. Okay? Don't just look at charts. Please don't just look at charts. I'm a technical trader 85, 90% of the time. And I'm telling you that the dumbest thing you could do is just look at charts. So right now, this looks like it wants to come into this level, but I don't see any indication that we're at a reversal. Also, it's very, very difficult for a market that has two stocks making 1-year highs versus 817 stocks that are making 90-day low to just reverse like that without a fundamental catalyst. All of this was determined not by looking at price data. It was looking at the big picture. Mr. Pets, when you go to a restaurant, don't just ask the first girl to marry you. Find out where her family's from, if she's married, if she speaks English. That's what we spent 37 minutes doing because it's very helpful. And you should too. And anybody who tells you just look at price action is a moron. All right. So, Megs, let's look at the Dow. I'll look at SMH in a second. All right. Look how extreme this is. Notice no overnight price action above this area. Folks, a lot of people don't tell you this, but gaps create major support and resistance areas. When you saw this gap take place, That's a major support area and a major resistance area right here. So price really has to come into this and work this area to come higher. Treat gaps like areas of support and resistance. A lot of folks don't do this. Folks think gaps are meant to be filled. No, gaps are meant to be broken away from. This is meant to break here, and this is meant to break here. Gap creates a very strong price indecisiveness area, and that creates a major support here for the bid and for the offer. So treat this like a wall right here, like a wall. Treat this like a wall. Okay. Yes. Yes. All right. Now, let me do SMH. So we didn't get into this area at all, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. And I will be updating you folks. Same thing. We haven't got it, but we don't really have a big gap here. But I'll still draw it for you. We need to get above this area. We need to get into this area right here, out of this area, and then we got this area right here. So we got a couple of we got one, two, three, four, five areas it has to break in order for it to come here. No way in hell it's going to do that fundamentally without fundamentals. No way in hell it's going to do it on earnings. It's going to have to be Trump, and he's going to have to tell us if he's going this way or this way. Because so far, this deep into the discussion, we have absolutely no clarity. We need to know if he's doing this to bring world leaders to negotiations or if he's doing this to make America great again and bring manufacturing here. Because he can't be both. It has to be one or another. He can't be keep telling you both stories. He's either has to do this or this. Can't be both. Okay. And I explained to you why it can't be both. So again, just be careful at these levels. Be careful. Be careful. We're not out of danger zone yet, not even close. What about momentum? Well, I already told you we got 817 stocks making 90-day lows, and we have 2 stocks making 90-day highs. Don't have a lot of confidence in this market. Also, as I said, crude oil is not rocking and rolling. Bonds are breaking down hard. U.S. dollars not really helping us out at all. And gold is just bouncing off the 50-day line, and you're not going to buy gold. You promised me you wouldn't buy gold till it's back at 3,100. How far back do I look? It depends on what I'm looking at. There you go, Carlos. Oh, let me give you some links. VIP link. Let me give you my VIP link. And let me give you customer service live. And folks, the last thing I want to do is argue with you. What I want to do is I want you to start following the Uncle Roger plan and stop following the I think I know better plan, because you don't. You don't. You think you do, but you don't. All right. Tiny bit of a life does not change SMH. No, Ralph, it had a positive look. It had that's what we look at. It rose. They had a repurchase, which is really good for the stock. But look at SMH. You're going to buy into this? One support, one resistance area, 2 resistance area, 3 resistance area, 4 resistance areas. That's a lot of resistance areas. All right. Let's look at the bright side. Infotech stocks above the 200-day moving average. Now, folks, remember something. Look, we can come down here. First of all, this is COVID. March 2022, September 2022. How much time do we spend here? April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months. Do we have to jump out of this area immediately like we do here? No. We could stay here for several months, but it doesn't mean we're going to go much lower. Okay? Oh, you're welcome, Jeff. You've been a pleasure. You actually help. You don't argue with me. Infotech 200-day. We are getting close to the bottom. It doesn't mean we can't stay here for a while. Okay? How about basic materials? Same thing. We're actually below COVID, folks, on basic materials. We're almost at 4%. This is rare. And look at real estate. We're starting to get to the bottom too. We need more sectors here. We don't have enough sectors here. RJ says, just tuning in. Sorry, do we know when Trump will talk about tariffs today, or is it random? I don't. It's random today, RJ. I'd love to know when he's going to talk about tariffs today, if he's going to talk about tariffs today. I'm not seeing a bottom, but I am seeing technology start getting towards those key levels. But what my point here is, folks, even if we get to the bottom, we could be staying here for quite some time. It doesn't mean we have to jump up immediately, but this is at least telling you we're not over here. Don't sell your favorite blue chip stocks that your grandma gave you that you've had in your retirement account for 6 months, for 6 years. That's what I'm trying to say. But like, don't go buying anything here. You don't want to be buying anything here. You want to wait for this to bottom out and start coming back aggressively higher. Okay. Was there any low ones overall? Was there any lower ones? No, no, Bob. I check this every morning for you. Look, let me show you. So I'm looking right here, right? So real estate, 10%, basic materials, 4%, infotech, 7%. By the way, zero, zero, and look where energy is, zero. So on the 50-day, on a swing, there's a lot of them that are at zero. But on 50 is more of a swing trading. This is more instrumental. But let me just give you an example on a 50-day line, how clean they are. Look at this. This is on a 50-day too. We're like really low. We're really, really low. And you could see that you got that on energy, you got that on financials, you got that on industrial, you got it infotech, material, real estate, and communication, but not yet on the 200. We got to see this over here. But again, just because we're going down and folks, let me give you a scenario. The market can bounce 500 points on the Dow, and all of these can go back to 20, and then they can come right back down. My point is, I wouldn't be looking at this as a market timing tool to figure out when we're going to go back up. I would use this as a market timing tool to determine how low we are and whether we're going to go much lower. It doesn't mean we can't stay at that low area for quite some time. Okay? It's pretty low, Bob. I don't know if it's the lowest, but it's down there. When you get to the fork in the road, take it. Yeah, it's a lousy chart. So momentum is not looking good. Let's look at volatility. I saved the best for last. Let's look at volatility. Volatility is coming down, but volatility needs to come down here. This is a good move in the right direction, but volatility needs to come here. We're still at 41. We're not at 60, but we're at 40. We're moving in the right direction, but we need to come down here. We need to get 27, and then we need to get below 20. So we're moving in the right direction, but we're not there yet. And remember, the U.S. market is up because of global economy. We need to see how U.S. now, Europe and China are reacting to U.S. yesterday. Now we need to see how U.S. reacts to them. All right. Very, very important. Oh, Matt says the baby is great. Good. See you at work. All right. I already did the QQQ. I already showed it. Close to 700. I haven't even started looking, Dr. Serena. Thank you. China must capitulate on tariffs, otherwise it gets even nastier. Yeah, yeah. Or something has to be. We got to have some resolutions. Look at the Nasdaq. You got a line here. You got a line here. You got a line. You got a lot of resistance areas. If you want, I'll give them to you. You got 459. You've got 468, and you've got 494. My wife is going out to a party tonight in the neighborhood, so I'm going to be alone. So I'll be updating you at night. I won't have anything to do. I'll be updating you. Close to 700. How about some thumbs up, guys? Let's see how many thumbs up we have. Totally forgot about it. I was so engrossed in my analysis. 205. Come on, guys. We got almost 700 people here. You guys can give a couple of thumbs up right here. Yeah, Maddie's doing great. She's doing great. All right. Let me give you stocks that I like to the downside. I do like some stocks to the downside. I would like to see a bounce so I could start shorting them. I'd like to see a bounce to the 8-day EMA, but I do like some of these stocks. AEO, CMG. There's plenty of stocks to the downside, folks. Plenty of stocks that we need to wait for till the 8-day EMA. Las Vegas Sands. Wait for them to be at the 8-day EMA. A lot of them are overextended right now. Okay. British Petroleum. Notice none of them are up here. They're all still down here. We need to get above. We need to get back here. Dow Chemicals. Yeah, I am focused on teaching to be showdown between U.S. and China. Yeah, it looks that way, Alan. 8-day EMA. Wait till we're up here. These stocks have been going down long before tariffs. Wait for them to get back into value area and then short them. Be patient. VFC, sorry, wrong ticker symbol. You obviously know I could have given you plenty of stocks yesterday. There was a reason why I didn't. You got till the 200 here. This is the wrong ticker. Hold on. This is the right ticker. So sorry. This is the right ticker right here. VFC. You got till the 8-day EMA right here. This looks like a bottom, but the problem is we're not bouncing enough in order for it to be justified. APA. Wait for it to get to the 8-day. PLD. Wait for it to get to the 8-day. Macy's. I like Macy's. I actually circled Macy's. Wait for it to get to the 8-day, or try to wait for it to get to the 8-day, unless you're day trading. Adobe. Wait for it to get to the 8-day. MGM. Now, folks, let me now put everything together for you. Virtually every U.S. economist at university is against. That's what I was saying. Virtually every economist is against the tariffs, which kind of not really good, except the administration. This tells us a lot. Well, that's a problem, folks. 90% of economists do not agree with Trump, and everybody in his administration does. And I already explained to you. I don't know about Besant, but Hassett is a yes man. So I'm just letting you know. I hope that Trump isn't getting us into something, because a lot of economists are totally against this idea. And again, we still don't know if Trump is going left or right. Is he doing this to negotiate with global leaders, or is he doing this for manufacturing? Because it's two different things, and one has nothing to do with the other. And no, you can't tie them together. So he has to tell us exactly what he's trying to do here. Till he does, and I don't think he's going to for a while, because I don't even know if he does. But that's what we need. Now, I have no stocks on my upside. Now, I'm going to give you some feedback right now. My suggestion is to do absolutely nothing. It's to wait to see what happens when we come up, and if we can come up a little more. If we start going down later today, all bets are off. If we start going up, I'm going to start looking for stocks that are, it's going to be tricky because I need to find the weakest stocks. So if we start going up, I'm going to start looking for stocks that are still underperforming the SPY, which should be plenty. But if we go down, it's going to be very hard for me to find stocks because the SPY has been underperforming, as I showed you guys yesterday in the webinar. The SPY has been underperforming every stock. There was like two stocks yesterday that were stronger than the SPY. So we can't buy anything because the SPY is weaker than dirt, and we can't sell anything because only two stocks are weaker than the SPY. So I need to get, so if the SPY goes up sharp today, I'll at least be able to find some stocks that are still bleeding. That's the game plan for today. Folks, if you do nothing today, you will be better off than 98% of all traders. I have no plans today. I don't even have a webinar today. And I'm highly doubtful that I'm going to be buying or selling any stocks because I don't want to be in trouble. It's not because I'm lazy. It's not because I'm bored. It's not because I've lost my confidence. The reason is very simple. We don't know what the president is going to do, and that's what's driving the economy. And we're in a very, very precarious position right now. Does everybody understand that I am simply trying to watch out for you? I am not doing this to prove a point. I'm not doing this as a stance. I'm not principled. I'm trying to help you guys make money. Yeah, if you have a AZP, you have a nice edge right now. Picked the high yesterday. We didn't take the trade. I was too scared. Volume was just, everything was going crazy. Implied volatility was 3 times as high as it was supposed to be. But we did pick the high on it yesterday. Maybe. All right. You guys have everything. My email is roger@rogerscott.com. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'm going to go drive to work. Then I got to go to the gym. And then I'm going to hang out with my dogs and cats and watch Breaking Bad and the market while my wife is at a party. I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic day. Please don't take what I say as negative. Take what I say as constructive criticism. I'm trying to get you guys to see the market the right way. That is the only goal I have. I have no political agenda here. Bye, guys. Have a great day, everyone. Good. Be crazy. The market is crazy doesn't mean you have to be crazy, okay? Don't be nutty. Don't follow this market. All right. I'll see you guys later. Any comments, let me know.